After consultation with premiers from all provinces and territories, after speaking with opposition leaders, the federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act to supplement provincial and territorial capacity to address the blockades and occupations.
After 2 weeks, the Prime Minister's patience has run out. For the first time in history, the federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act to help bring an end to the anti-mandate protests happening across the country.
Let me be equally clear about what it does not do. We're not using the Emergencies Act to call in the military. We're not suspending fundamental rights or overriding the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We are not limiting people's freedom of speech. We are not limiting freedom of peaceful assembly. We are not preventing people from exercising their right to protest legally. Invoking the Emergencies Act is never the first thing a government should do, nor even the second. The Act is to be used sparingly and as a last resort. Right now, the situation requires additional tools not held by any other federal, provincial, or territorial law. Today, in these circumstances, it is now clear that responsible leadership requires us to do this.
The government is issuing an order with immediate effect under the Emergencies Act, authorizing Canadian financial institutions to temporarily cease providing financial services where the institution suspects that an account is being used to further the illegal blockades and occupations.
The Act grants extraordinary powers to the federal government to issue special orders during national emergencies. The Act replaced the War Measures Act and is unlike its predecessor in that it's still subject to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
There's a lot more parliamentary oversight than there was in the War Measures Act.
So the Emergencies Act requires that the government specify the nature of the emergency, that the nature of the emergency can't be dealt with by existing laws.
The Emergencies Act takes effect immediately, but both houses of Parliament must approve within 7 days or it's automatically revoked. Jagmeet Singh says the NDP will help it clear the lower house, and though there are no formal parties within the Senate, Justin Trudeau has appointed 56 of the current 91 senators, making failure in the upper house unlikely. Opposition leader Candice Bergen says her party is still deciding if it'll support the use of the Emergencies Act, but says the Prime Minister is only making the situation worse.
My job is not to hold Canadians to account. My job is to hold the Prime Minister to account. And the Prime Minister has done a very poor job, and I'm trying to measure my words. He's done a dismal job managing this, showing Canadians that he disagrees with, that he respects them, even though he disagrees with them. So that's our position. We've been very clear on it. We support peaceful, legal protests, but we want these blockades and these barriers to be removed.
In Ottawa, Shally Lee, City News.